All right, so right here we have to write this into slope-intercept form, identify the y-intercept and the slope, and graph the equation. All right, and so this is not even in standard form for us. We have an issue with it not even being in standard form because we have the coefficient that out here that is not equal to. So, a couple things we can do here to get this. We can move the x and the 1/2 and then try to solve for y, or we can recognize that if I move the y over, it's going to eliminate some steps for me. So I'm going to move the y to the other side. How can I create, since this y, this 1/4 y is added, how do I create a 0 right here? I'm going to minus 1/4 y, minus 1/4 y, right there, and I'm going to get negative 1/4 y equal to x plus 1/2. Now, most of us don't like this because we have fractions. I'm going to show you one thing at the end of this, how you can eliminate the fractions first, and some of you may feel a whole lot easier with that. Okay? Now, this 1/4, this negative 1/4 is really negative y divided by 4 is really what it is. How do you undo division? With multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by negative 4 or multiply by negative 4 over 1, but I have to do that to everything on this side. Okay, and so when I do that, that's going to create a 1 on the y, negative 4 on the x, and what is negative 4 divided by 2?
Negative 4 divided by 2.
Yeah, because that's going to be that 1 times that negative 4. Okay, I'll do an additional step because this is
He's got to undo the fraction with multiplication.
right. It's going to be that, and so therefore I reduce it or divide it to get that. Okay, so now let's practice again. What's my slope? What's my slope?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. And what's my y-intercept? 0, negative 2.
Yes.
All right? And so from that, we will graph. Okay? And so what I'll do is I plot my y-intercept. I perform my slope going down 4. This way 1. So my graph should look very similar to that right there. Now, those of you that don't like to work with fractions and immediately freak out because I see them, there's something we can do right here at jump and then I don't have to worry about fractions. What you need to do is look through all the fractions in your problem.
Common denominator.
What is the greatest common denominator in the fractions in your problem? 4. Okay? Now, if you don't recognize one, multiply all your denominators together and get a big one, which would be 8. So even if I did it as 8 as the greatest one, if I multiply everything by that common denominator, I can cancel it out. Okay? So if you recognize 4, great. So that means I'm going to multiply everything by 4 from jump, from start. And so when I do that, what's 4 times 0?
0.
What's 4 times x? What's 1/4 y times 4? So it would be 4 divided by 4, which is 1, right? And what is 1/2 times 4? It won't be negative yet. It'll be 2. And so now, very simply, I could solve this out. And you're like, where's the negative going to come from?
Is that the equation?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, so here's where your equation can come from. I can still move the y first. So if I move the y first, that's going to be negative y to this side, 4x plus 2. How do I get the negative 1 off the y?
Divide by negative 1.
And that's where it gives me the equation y equals negative 4x minus 2. So it's the same equation. It's just I can eliminate all the fractions up at the top by multiplying by the common denominator.
Could you just do it by the slopes? By the slope and
Well, you don't have the slope given to you. You have to find it.
And that's what I'm saying, after you find it, can you just do it on that? Instead of writing that equation out?
Yeah, I just wrote this up here because people automatically see fractions, so they're done.
Oh.
So I wanted to show a way to eliminate the fractions first.
Why are we like that?